Hi, I'm Jill, Chief Safety Officer with Vivid Learning Systems. I'm a former OSHA inspector, and I'm here to help you identify and correct workplace safety hazards. For this series, we're at the University of Louisville in beautiful Kentucky to show you no matter where you work, safety is for everyone. The ventilation device we're in front of now is called a clean air bench. It looks quite a bit different than the biological safety cabinet and the fume hood that we've seen. So Rachel, what makes this so much different?
This is different. It's also sometimes referred to as a laminar flow bench because it's going to pull in air from the room, pass it through a HEPA filter. That filtered air is going to pass through the back of the hood over your workspace, providing a clean, particle-free work area for your experiments.
So just to clarify, what are its limitations compared to the other ventilation devices?
It definitely doesn't add the same layer of protection in that the air is not refiltered prior to being exhausted out of the cabinet. It's in fact exhausted directly out onto the worker and into the room.
Okay, and so what would we want to use this for?
You definitely wouldn't want to use this for any biohazards. That would all be done within a biological safety cabinet. And you wouldn't want to work with any potentially hazardous chemicals in here. So one of the things that you can do in this piece of equipment is things like pouring agar plates for microbiology, or perhaps setting up a PCR, or anything in which you would want to protect your materials, but you're not necessarily concerned about the hazard to your health or to the environment.
Okay, so it's less about the employee's health and more about the safety of the experiment that you're working on.
Yeah, you want to preserve the integrity of your materials and protect your experiment.
Any kind of personal protective equipment that would be unique to using this kind of setup?
Again, it's very dependent on what you're doing, but as with anything else, we ask that everyone wear a lab coat and gloves. And again, if they're going to be doing any sort of technique that could create splashes, they might want to consider wearing face or eye protection, just as an extra measure.
So speaking of splashes, what about cleaning this up, or what if you have a spill?
Yeah. If you spill anything in this type of cabinet, or really anywhere in the laboratory, you do want to clean it up immediately. You don't want to neglect a spill, and depending on the material that you spill, you'll want to follow a different procedure that's appropriate for cleaning up that material.
Okay. And then can you talk about this gauge that's on here? And are there gauges on most types of ventilation systems?
There is a gauge on this clean air bench. There is a similar gauge on the biosafety cabinet. This is a pressure gauge, and it's going to measure loading on the HEPA filter. So it's very important that air be able to pass freely through the HEPA filter. If there's any sort of abrupt drop or increase in the pressure, it could indicate that there's something wrong with your filter. Perhaps it's clogged, and you need to have your cabinet serviced.
So it's important that the person that's using it understands how to read the gauge on it as well.
Yeah, you want to make it part of your routine when using this equipment to just glance at the pressure gauge prior to starting.
Yeah, very good. Thank you. Thank you. So we've now seen 3 different types of ventilation devices that are used in labs, and we're learning that we don't call them hoods, and that they all really do some very unique things to protect employees and to protect the experiments that they're working with. I hope you gained a safety skill today. If you know someone who needs this, go ahead and pass it on. Safety is everyone's business.